Greetings, everybody. Big Al here once again. Today I'm going to talk about things that absolutely need to die a horrible and painful death. This is inspired by Model Master's rant on things that need to die, and iMockery's section on things that need to be destroyed. The first thing on my list. The Land Before Time movies. I cannot fucking stand them now. I adored and enjoyed the first three, but after movie 10, I'm thinking, okay, this this series has completely jumped the shark. Every time they make another Land Before Time movie, I just keep constantly thinking to myself, when's the fucking meteor going to come and destroy them all and end this goddamn series? Another thing that needs to die is Scooby-Doo. Now, let me explain something. I absolutely love the old school Scooby-Doo. When Scrappy came in the picture, I was thinking, okay, what the hell were they thinking? Then they came out with all these Scooby-Doo movies, and then now it's 2000, and they're still coming out with frickin' Scooby-Doo movies. And they even came out with they even came out with a new series. It sucks. I mean, Scooby-Doo. That show is being milked for everything it's worth. Could somebody please euthanize Scooby-Doo for me? Another thing that needs to die, Girls Gone Wild. Oh wow, isn't that amazing? Underage girls flashing into the camera. Ooh! Another thing that absolutely needs to die has got to be these stupid-ass reality shows. They're all about the same thing. Put a bunch of douchebags in a house that hate each other and watch them have sex within the period of a day. There's no fucking way that would work in real life. Hi, I'm so-and-so. Hi, I'm so-and-so too. Let's fuck, okay. The only reality show I kind of liked was Survivor, but even that was proven to be a fake. Seriously, Big Brother, The Real World, and all those other shows with a bunch of douchebags in a house. Nobody cares about them. Actually, why is this so popular? Why? It's called reality show, but it's scripted. Does that make any sense? The same thing with this reality show, Dance Your Pants Off, or Pants Off, Dance Off. Oh, that's a great idea. Let a bunch of losers strip naked in front of TV and dance to stupid songs. And half the people who dance on the TV strip to their... Yeah, they don't even look good. I'm just going to stop there before I vomit. As much as I hate saying it, the next item on my list is Nickelodeon. I absolutely used to love Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon was my life in my childhood. Every day I would turn it on to see Legends of the Hidden Temple, or Nickelodeon Guts, or Are You Afraid of the Dark, or Dog, or Ren and Stimpy. And they even had some great live-action shows like, what is it? The Weird Adventures of Alex Mack, or whatever that the girl with psychic powers, whatever it's called. The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Who the hell could ever forget that? And of course, my favorite show of all time on that channel, Salute Your Shorts. But no, that's not good anymore, because we gotta be trendy. We gotta be hip. So what do? They ditch all the good shows and put on these crappy live-action ones with all these kids going through school. Not to mention, they've committed one of the most vile sins of mankind. They took the Rugrats, who are babies, and should still be babies. They were babies and the show worked. What do? Oh, let's take a shit all over it and turn them into preteens. You can't turn the Rugrats into teenagers. It doesn't make sense. And perhaps the most vile of all Nickelodeon sins that I have ever done, there's no more sliming. You can't have Nickelodeon without slime. It's like ordering a chili dog without chili. It just can't work. Same thing with Cartoon Network. It's going down the same shitty path. Oh, it's called Cartoon Network, but let's put some live action shows on it. Just for shits and giggles, I suppose. They're raping my childhood. There's just no other way to do it. Speaking of raping my childhood, you know what else needs to die? These movies that are based off of old cartoons. Now, some of them were good, but most of them suck. I talked about the Transformers movie. I would have loved it, absolutely fucking loved it, and called it the best movie ever. But there's just one problem. It's called Transformers, but the focus of the movie isn't on the Transformers. It's about this stupid love story against this guy and the girl he's trying to get laid with. Not to mention the stupid as hell anticlimactic death against Megatron when there's this huge ass battle. How's it end? Oh, the kid puts the Allspark in his chest and he dies. What the hell is that? Then there's Underdog? That's not fucking Underdog. That's just a generic dog in a cape. Underdog was an anamorphic creature. He was a dog that could walk on two legs and could talk, and he could shine shoes, for crying out loud. And if he needed superpowers, he'd pop pills. That's not Underdog. If you want to make an Underdog movie, make it CGI, or fuck that, make it cartoons. Speaking of which, that's another thing that needs to die. All this CGI bullshit. Whatever happened to cartoons? Did people all of a sudden forgot how to draw? The latest cartoon movie that I ever saw was the Simpsons movie, and that was pretty much about it. I'm sick of all this CGI computer animated bullcrap. It looks fake. I mean, if you're gonna make a movie based off a kid's show that was a cartoon, leave it a cartoon. Or if you're gonna turn it live action, make it believable. Another thing that needs to die, and this was suggested by my good friend Starman X, pointless sequels to already great Disney films, or any other films, like The Lion King. That was a great film. You know, it ended on a high note. There was no cliffhangers. There wasn't absolutely anything to possibly suggest that there's going to be a sequel. But what do? They make a sequel anyway, and it sucked. Same thing with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You remember that old claymation film from the 60s? There wasn't, now 40 years later, they decided to make a sequel to it. Why? Why? Why, of all movies, would you make a sequel to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? And if you are making a sequel, why the hell would you even wait till 40 years after the fact? Another thing that needs to die, these teen magazines. These bastards are the reason why kids are making themselves throw up, and kids as young as 15 are considering plastic surgery. Why? Because they make them feel unwanted. They make them feel ugly. They make them feel that you're not cool and you will never have friends unless you look like me. And of course, they make themselves throw up and they die. This one's obvious. Things that need to die, emos. Why? They keep saying they're going to kill themselves, but they never do. Save us the suspense, and do it already. Here's the next one. I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me for this, but am I the only one sick and tired of hearing, "That's Mama Luigi to you, Mario," and every freaking YouTube poop that everyone has ever made? I mean, seriously, can people come up with a new subject to turn into a YouTube poop? I mean, I dare anyone to turn this into a YouTube poop. Another thing that absolutely need to die, 4Kids. 4Kids is the most vile, and I can't even say any other words to describe it because it is so awfully bad. There, I just made it up a word for it. Awfully. I'm trademarking that bullshit. And you know what? I'm not going to say anything more about 4Kids because I am making a rant about it soon. Another thing that absolutely needs to die, Jesus Camp. Next! Oh, this one's really obvious right here. Tomatalk. You know what? I'm a member of Tomatalk now, but only to put on the logic. And you know what I saw on Tomatalk? You're not going to believe this. I saw a memorial section to Tomatalk. For people that say, "Oh, I miss my pen. Virtual pen died." It's fake! And plus, one of the members confused Akiter with me, saying that Starman X, it's Big Al. No, I'm Big Al, motherfucker. If you're watching this video, I am Big Al. Big Al is Big Al. Starman X isn't Big Al. I'm Big Al, okay? I am the only Big Al that does this shit for a living. That's part one of my rant, and that does not need to die. Watch for part